Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So today I thought I'd show you how to make these really simple and easy little notebooks. Now I've used the paper from the Gelli prints that we were doing and they are really lovely, and I think they make such lovely little notebook covers. Really simple. Now all as I've done, I've popped some tea stain paper in there. I've backed the paper with some tea stain paper as well, and that's what it was like. So that's the whole piece there, and I've just folded it in half, so you can't get much easier than that. I have sewn around the outside, but again you don't have to, and I've just popped them in there with some staples, so there's not even any sewing in this, and you can hardly see them, just 3 little staples in there, and I think that makes such a lovely little notebook. So these are lovely quick little gifts that you can make as well, and I've just tied it around with a little bit of seam binding. So if you don't have seam binding, you can use a little bit of lace or ribbon or anything that you like that you've got. So it's really simple. This little one here is, again, it's made out of the piece of Gelli paper that we made, the Gelli print, and this one I've cut in half, and I've made some little tags. I popped a little pocket there, and on the back some more little tags on here and some little pockets. So that these little tags were made out of the other half of the paper, so that's a really nice one as well. And I've just added again a couple of pages of tea stain paper, and I have stapled it in. So simple and so easy to do, and it's something that if you're a beginner, it's a great one to do as well, because it's not so daunting as making a big journal. So these are good practices for you. So that's what I'm done. I was making one out of my pink butterfly collection as well, paper. So what I wanted to say as well, if you're a beginner, this paper here, I've done it on a portrait way. Now portrait on a piece of paper is long ways like that, so that's what they call portrait, and that's what you would call landscape. So it's that way. So the pink butterfly is being designed, I designed it on the landscape, so that goes like that, so it's folded that way. And the piece that I had left over, I used I made into like a little bookmark. But obviously on the Gelli prints here, these are done, I've done them on this sort of like the landscape, the portrait, which is the long way. So I folded them this way like that instead of that way. So I hope that makes a bit of sense to you. Right, let me pop those to the side. And the first one I'm going to do here, let's do this one because I love this one. Now I've also got ready some of the inside, so which is the pages here. So all I've got is a piece of tea stain paper like that, and I folded them in half long ways, portrait way, so they're down through the middle like that. So I've probably got about 8 to 10 pieces in there, just folded up. So I've just folded them up, and then I will cut them down when we know the size of the actual cover that we're going to do. So the first step is, I've got a piece of, this was printed on, these were on 100-gram paper, and this is a piece of tea coffee stain paper that I've done, and this is on 160-gram paper. So I'm just going to back this onto here like that. I'm going to cut the little white bits off first, so just cut around it. So we don't need to stick all of that down. A little bit off here, just tidy it up, and then we can tidy it up a bit more. And then I'm just going to get my glue stick and glue it down. Quite simple. So you can glue it down if you want some PVA or anything like that, you can, or Mod Podge, you can glue it down with. But I find that if you use the glue stick, like I've said before, it's more of a sort of a dry glue, so it stops your paper from wrinkling up so much. So, and it's not so wet. So we'll just do that, and we'll just stick this onto here like that. Now stick it right to the end, because we can use this bit as the little pockets for the inside of the smaller journal as well. So just rub that down, stick that on nicely. And I'm going to get my paper trimmer here, and then we're going to cut this down so it's a little bit more level. So because the jelly prints are not sort of like straight on the paper, I find this is the easiest way to do it. Cut that off like that. Perfect. So we've got a nice backed piece of paper there, like that. So there we go. So I'm going to, now this one I think I'll make into the taller one. So I think I might actually do the other one as well while we're doing this, but it's stuck. So I'm going to use this one as well because I like this print. And it's quite nice to use all your prints while we can, so we don't sort of like pop them in a pile and forget about them. So just cut these pieces off. Down through here. There we go. Again, I like this bit. I like this pattern which the coffee is made on here. So I'm going to keep that for the inside. So let me just add a little bit of glue to this. And the outside. There we go. Now if you're not going to sew it, make sure you go right to the edges. Make sure the edges are all stuck down. But if you're going to sew it, it doesn't really matter because you can sew them down. Now, let's go to the end. There we go. Flatten it all down nicely. Perfect. Put that on there. Let's just cut this one straight. There we are, perfect. Okay, pop that to the side. Oh no, actually what I'm going to do with this one, let me get the cutter back out again because I'm going to make this one smaller. So this is going to be the smaller journal. So I'm going to sort of cut it roughly in half, like that. So depending on, I think I will go like that. So I think I'll make this side, let's have a look, this side the front of the journal I think. So that's going to be the front like that, and then this one can be the little tags. I'm going to cut these little tags up, so let's have a look. So we will have that tag, and then I'm going to do 2 bigger tags, and then I'm going to cut it in half this way. Let's go this way. And then I'm going to have 2 smaller tags like that. So that's the 2 smaller tags, and then I'm going to cut this one into 4. Then we have 4 little tags like that. So again, you can cut them up however you like, just like that. Make sure that's level in there. Oopsie daisy. Oops, I hope I'm in shot there, sorry. Pop that down, and then we've got our 4 little tags like that. So let's pop that out of the way. So that would make 2 bigger tags, 2 smaller tags, and the 4 little tags. So this is what will go inside the book, like that. So on the inside. So I'm going to just pop these together and just chop the little corners off. Just like that. So we've got some tag shapes. There we are. We've got the little ones. I'll do these separately because some of them are bigger than the other ones. Make sure we're up the right way. Not that it really matters, but I'm loving them. Look at the different designs on there. I think they look really nice. Just like that. And then this one. Now I'm not going to sew around these ones. So that is all ready for the little one. And I'm going to actually round the corners on these because I think they look really nice finished off. Now if you don't have a corner punch, you can get something. Let's have a look. This is a little dauber, but you put little dauber, and then you can pop that on the side and then just draw around it and then cut around it. So use anything with a that's round and draw around it, and then you can just cut around them. So you don't need a corner punch. Just a bit of ease if you've got one. So that's going to go to the side, so we will do that one in a minute. And then we've got this one, so I'm going to do round the side, so round the corners on this one as well, like that. So these are so simple to do. Now I'm going to cut around this one. I'm not quite sure which way. We're going to do it this way, won't we? So this is a portrait one. Now I'm going to go around the edge and sew it before I fold it in half. Okay, so while I'm doing that, I will sew around this one as well. So I will be 2 minutes. I'm just going to go around the edges. Okay, so there we go. I've just gone around the edge with the machine. So let's just cut those little bits of cotton off like that. Little bits and pieces everywhere. Okay, now I'm just going to colour the cotton on the edge because I'm using a sort of a creamy colour cotton. So I'm just going to go over it with a little bit of ink like that. Look at the pattern on there. I think that looks really lovely. Okay, and this one, just a little bit of ink. Now I've had a few of you ask me about the actual prints that I did, and they would have liked them as a digital kit, but because I've used stencils which aren't mine and stamps, I can't actually make these into a digital kit. I can only sort of like, when you're using people's stamps and stencils on that, I think there's lots of copyright rules and stuff, so I can't actually make these into a digital kit. But once I can make into a digital kit if I use my own stamps and stencils, so I might use those. So there we go. I'm going to do the big one first, so I'm going to fold it this way like this. So we're going to make a nice big long journal cover like that. Let's measure that. I'm not quite sure how big that is. So that is just over, it's about 9 3/4 by 3 3/4, I would have thought. Now I've already folded these ready to go, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop them in the top like that, so it's just level, just under. And then I'm going to mark with my pencil, if I can find it in this messy table. Just going to mark it there, just like that, and then mark this here, like that, just down there. And I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to actually go down through it with a knife, which I find is the easiest way than cutting each individual page. So I'm just going to pop that along, just like this. Should have cut it the other way really, so the papers fold backwards. So there we go. That's easy. And then I'm going to just go down through here. into your book, that is the right size, which is perfect. Now all I've got to do is round off the corners. Now this is the bit that takes a little while, so just grab a couple. Perfect. So there we go, we've got nice rounded corners, and it's so much quicker than doing it individually. So then they will pop in there like that, and then you have your super quick and easy journal. Now we're going to take our stapler again, like we've done before, and we are just going to staple in the pages instead of sewing them in. If you haven't sewn anything in, it's quite daunting for you, so this is a quick way of doing it. Now I've got my rubber. Okay, so what you want to do is open up your stapler, unless you've got a really big one that will fit through your pages. And I'm going to pop it open. Oops, I've just moved it. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to do the one in the middle first. Pop your rubber underneath, and then just staple over the top like that. And then you will see it goes through. Now what can I use? Let's just use the end of the pencil. Just push that down, and again do either end like that. Just pop it over the rubber. Make sure you're in line with the spine of it there. Pull that out, and then just push these in. And we'll do the last one, which is down this end, and push that in. Take your rubber out, and there we go. And how quick and simple is that? Like that. So and there's your lovely little notebook. How easy. And again, you can use any papers on the front. Doesn't have to be the Gelli plate, but it's a quick and simple little journal, and it's a fantastic little gift for somebody. And again, you can pop a little bit of seam binding around there and tie it in a little bow. If I got a piece, here's a piece, just like that, and that's done. Easy peasy, like that. And there we go. Lovely little journal. Not a journal, a little notebook, really, isn't it? So this one, now we've done one, we've got this one to do. I'm going to fold this one in half, like that. Okay, and I'm going to pop the papers in first, I think. I had them ready here somewhere. There we go. So these papers, what I've done, I've got a one like this, and I've just folded that in half, and I've torn down this side, and then I folded them this way. So that's what I've got here. So I'm going to do the same as I did in the other one. So I'm just going to pop them inside, get my little pencil, and just mark it down there, and then just mark it down there. And then we just need to cut this down. There we go. So that will fit in there nice and neatly. And then we just got to chop off the corners like we did before. Perfect, there we go. Now we've got all the pages with the little round corners, and they fit in there perfect like that. So before I staple that in, I'm going to pop the little tags in. Now where's the little pockets, where's the little pieces? So this was the leftover pieces that we had from the Gelli plates, so let's just take that off from gluing the backing on here. So this is what we had left over, so I'm just going to make a little pocket here. So let's just cut that down like that. So that will fit on there. Let's get it quite low. And then we've got a little pocket to pop these into. like that. So I'm going to round the corner here just so it fits on there like that. Now I could have put these pockets on first really, couldn't I? So I'm just going to round, I won't round that last one, just pop that on there like that. So these will fit in. Two little tags in the front. Now I'm going to just ink around the edge, just like that, just so you can, I won't sew these, but you can sew them if you were sewing the rest of it, but just to show you don't have to sew them. And then I'm going to get a little bit of glue around it. Just a little bit. You can just glue that on there. Like that. So that's those two. That first one, and then we pop again. We do another one for the back, but the pocket doesn't have to be so deep. I'm going to cut it about there, and then I'm going to cut it in half. Sort of in half. Just this little bottom bit is going to be just a little bit bigger because that one's going to go there and that one will go there. So I'm going to round this bit here and that little corner bit so that can fit in there like that. Ink the edge. And then we can just glue it down. A little bit of glue. Put that on there like that. Stick it down. Now we need to make sure, let's pop one of these in there, where this is going to go. So these are quite tall, so they need to come sort of down there a little bit. So I'm going to just round that one and that one. Ink round the edge. And go along the bottom bit. Put a little bit of glue on. So that goes there. I think it's going to have to go about there, I think. It's level. Sort of level, isn't it? Okay, so we can pop the big tags in the front pocket. Like that. We can pop these two in the bottom pocket. There. And then we've got the 4 little tags here, which I think are great. And there. Or you could just leave it like that as a little tag book, and you could pop, if you had a little bit left over of this, you could pop a little panel on there, or you could put some writing on there. So now we just need to staple our little booklet in. Let's get our rubber. Let me pop the lid on the glue. Staple this in. Let's find the middle. Go. Pop that into the crease. Make sure it's all level. Pop that in. I'm going to just, it's not very level, is it? Let's take the tags out. There we go. Might be a little bit easier. Open that up, turn that over, we'll pop one here. This is my little stapler. one there, and then we'll pop one down this end here, like that. A little pencil, squash those down like that. I think that's level. There we go. And there we go. You've got your lovely simple little booklet, and then we can pop our tags back inside. So, hi guys, sorry the camera went off. So all I did was pop the little tags back in like that, and it's all done. So I think these are really, really lovely. So it's a really nice simple gift to make, or something else that you would like to pop into your stash, or a little project as well, if you wanted to make a little stash of gifts. So these are really nice, so you could have a little gift waiting. So if it's somebody's birthday, you can just pop that in the post for them. And I think they're really nice. So there we go guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please do stay safe, have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you all soon. Alright guys, bye bye.